to another edition of Pro Talk Plus, the Winner's Edge, right here on Onstage Plus Network, carried over various social media platforms across the internet. We are in the 18th and final week of the regular season, and the Rad Man has made all of you a plethora of money throughout this entire season. Rad Man, can you believe that this is the last week of the season? It seems like we just started this.
It really does. It really does seem like we just started, and I can't believe we're rolling into the last week of the season. And I hope people were with us last week as I told people about the Arizona Cardinals getting +7. Also talked about Tennessee, my pick of the week, Tennessee -3 in a pick 'em. Tennessee ended up blowing out the Dolphins 34-3. Monday night, I gave you a goodbye present for Ben Roethlisberger. I told you the Steelers would cover the 3-point spread and would be able to defeat the Cleveland Browns, and they did. Cleveland gave them a battle, but they defeated them in that contest. So I was right on the money on several of those games from this past week, including New England blowing out Jacksonville at +16. Definitely was on the money for you, for people to win some money this past week. And last but not least, thanks to that, we have a brand new sponsor, Burgos Income Tax, serving the Rochester community since 1991. Personal and business tax preparation, big and fast tax refunds. Call our friend Al Burgos, area code 585-266-2680. 585-266-2680. Call our good buddy Al Burgos for personal and business tax preparation, or most importantly, for your tax refund. You want to win some of that big money you win from us? Go ahead and deal with Al, and Al will give you even bigger refund on your taxes once you do allow him to do your taxes. So keep in mind, Burgos Income Tax Inc., serving the Rochester community since 1991. You don't have to be in Rochester. You can email him your information. He can get it done for you and get your money if you're on the West Coast or in the Midwest, wherever, anywhere in our listening audience. Check out Al Burgos, area code 585-266-2680. All right, Brian, thank you for being our sponsor of Pro Talk Plus, the Winner's Edge.
All right, we've got a lot to get on today. We've got 2 games today. All the NFL games are Saturday and Sunday. Monday night, the Rad Man is going to give you his pick for the national championship. Is it safe to say that there's the SEC and the rest of the NCAA in football at this point?
It's the rest. Exactly. There's one. You're absolutely right. There's the SEC, which puts players into the NFL and goes from there.
Yep. Hey, we've got a lot to get on. Let's get it in. We're going to start with Dallas and Philadelphia. This is a big-time game with some serious playoff and seeding implications. Also, can you believe, Radman, as bad as our New Orleans Saints have played, they still can make the playoffs? Can you believe that? If everything aligns the right way, the New Orleans Saints could end up in the playoffs.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yes,
it just shows you how this season has been going. All along. Some of these teams that are not playoff teams, these pretenders, they might back their way into it. They're 8-8. They're a 500 team. If they win tomorrow and they win over 500, they're still that doesn't make them a playoff team. So you got some pretenders out there. It's going to be interesting to see how this all transpires after tomorrow night. We'll see who's in and who's out.
If the New Orleans Saints make the playoffs, I'm sorry. They're one and done. I'm telling you. They're not going anywhere. Got a good defense. Offensively, they are shot. Unbelievable. All right, let's start with Dallas and Philadelphia. What do you think?
What I think about that is for Dallas, Philadelphia, good game. Philly getting 7. Take Philly with the 7 points. I like it over 45. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. The weather looks to be decent so far in the Philadelphia area going into this game. Over 45, take Philly with the 7. Philly needs it a little more than Dallas. But buyer beware of this game, because if Philly wins, these two teams could definitely face each other next weekend as well. So this is one of those games where Dallas may not want to show everything, or Dallas may want to blow these guys out and let them know y'all don't need to be on the field with us. So it's going to be very interesting to see this contest, how it transpires later today. But take Philly with the 7 over 45.
All right, next game up today. This is a big game, has some serious implications as far as seeding. And I think Denver, no, they're out of it. They don't have a chance, I don't think. But Denver and Kansas City.
Denver and Kansas City. All right, man, Denver getting 10 right now. I like the Broncos with the 10, but guess what? Kansas City is playing. They got a chance to get back. They blew it last week. Referees call. I thought the referees really gave them the short end of the stick last week in Cincinnati. Those pass interference calls twice, a holding and a pass interference. Oh, come on, man. Give me a break, referee. Let this boy, they at the goal line. Let Cincinnati earn the touchdown. But you really took it out of KC's hands last week. Now they behind the Titans. Now they have to play tougher this week. Probably keep Mahomes in a lot longer than they want to. Kansas City will blow Denver off the field in this contest. They should win by more than 10 in this game. Over 47, because Drew Luck is good for a couple interceptions, a couple pick sixes, quite possibly. That'll cause the blowout to come a lot quicker. Take the KC in this one over 10.
KC over 10. Also, Vic Fangio, in my estimation, will be fired on tomorrow morning. He will be part of the Black Monday firings. I don't think he will make it past that. So he's our first firing that I'm thinking tomorrow morning. What do you think?
Oh yeah. He's on he's a good defensive guy. Somebody will pick him up for their coaching staff for next season. He's that good of a defensive coordinator. I've looked at his history. He's been with a lot of good teams.
Excellent defense.
Yeah, he's very good.
He had that dominating defense in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He had a very good defense in Chicago. This is a guy that's had some good defenses, and maybe Buffalo should look at him because I think Leslie Frazier has earned a right to really move on to another head coaching position. So I think Leslie Frazier, this could be a guy that McDermott should be looking at. Just saying. Now I'm not quite sure if him and McDermott are cohesive on how to run the defense, so that could be an issue too. So
that definitely could be a big issue. But he was in Baltimore too, and Baltimore's defense is the guy has been around some great defenses. So if him and McDermott can come to a mutual agreement on how the defense should be run and how they play, and basically the Bills are running out of Hyde and Poyer. I expect maybe one more year of Poyer and Hyde together on that Bills secondary. You're going to be needing to bring in some other guys to run because McDermott's defense is more, the secondary is the key to their defense. They have the man-to-man coverage, and they're expecting the front end guys to get the pass rush and stop the run, and also allow the linebackers. The Bills got to look at some linebackers too. So let's get back to the other games, and we'll get to that Buffalo game in a little bit.
All right. Thank everybody for the happy birthdays on the side there. I appreciate that. Chicago and Minnesota. This is a game where both coaches could be fired Monday. That's
right. Woo! It's going to be dark Monday as usual.
Yes, sir.
The firing squad to be out Sunday night. Tomorrow, really, less than 24 hours might be over. We know some of these guys already probably been told to pack up their stuff after the game. We just haven't heard anything.
Nagy has already been told he's gone, and I would assume Zimmer. I don't think he's going to be there. He's had enough opportunity to make Minnesota a better program. I think this is it for him.
I agree with you as well.
How do you see that game?
Chicago still doesn't have much offense. Minnesota has more offense. Kirk Cousins, depending on if he's eligible to play, if he's not in COVID protocol or anything, take Minnesota to win this game outright. And Zimmerman, which could be Zimmerman's last game, it's a home game. Take Minnesota to defeat the Chicago Bears. And Nagy go out the loser that he is, and it just typified. It would just be the final stamp on the Chicago Bears' inefficient offense and inefficient defense of this season. A very disappointing season for the Chicago Bears. Take Minnesota to win it outright. Under 42 points.
Under 42. Next game up, New England and Miami. This game does have playoff and divisional implications to it. How do you see it?
It's going to be a good game. This is a good game to take a look at. Brian Flores has had his number on the New England Patriots, especially down in Miami. They won the opening day. Keep in mind, Miami defeated New England on opening day in New England. Now they finish up in Miami. Miami getting 7. Miami getting the points. I'm taking Miami. Don't be shocked if Miami defeats New England because he knows about that offense. He knows how that offense is run. He has the linebackers. He being Brian Flores. He has the corners. He has the linebackers. They were playing well up until last week when they went up against a much better football team than them, the Tennessee Titans. And I told you to take Tennessee. I hope people won their money with Tennessee last week because I was all over that one. I was just shocked that they beat them by 31 points. I didn't expect Tennessee to put a butt whooping like they did on them last week. But take Miami with the 7 over New England. Under 38 total points. I think it'll be a low scoring game. Mac Jones will turn the ball over in this game, and Tua probably will turn it over too. It's going to be an interesting game to see these two young quarterbacks. See who has the least turnovers in the game. Take Miami plus the 7.
All right, Indianapolis and Jacksonville. One thing we know, Jacksonville has already fired their coach, so they're going to be looking for a coach. So
right. They already fired their coach, man.
Yeah.
So they got it over with quick. They were sick of that guy. They said, we really messed up.
Yeah, bad situation. They got some talent, though, man. That's not a bad. You got a quarterback. You got some talent. You got, especially on defense, man. That's not a bad situation. If I'm a head coach, I wouldn't be, if I'm a head coach candidate, rather, I would look at Jacksonville as a good landing spot.
Yeah, they talked to Todd Bowles already. Yesterday, allegedly, they were meeting with Byron Leftwich. Yesterday, I like Byron Leftwich being the former quarterback, the former face of that franchise, bringing Byron Leftwich from Tampa Bay. He's done a great job in Tampa. He did excellent job with Bruce Arians in Arizona, too, back in 2018. So he's had 3-4 years as an offensive coordinator. It's his time. Get Byron Leftwich in Jacksonville. Jacksonville getting 16 points. That won't be enough because I think Indianapolis is going to come out there. They know they need to win. They're going to put it on Jacksonville tomorrow. Take Indianapolis to cover the 16 points. They'll win by 20 or more. They'll just blow them out early and get this game over it so they can get into the playoffs. Indianapolis over 16. I would say under 42 because I don't see Jacksonville putting many points on the board. Under 42, take Indianapolis in this one.
All right, next game up is here in Western New York. The Buffalo Bills will host the New York Jets. Very disappointing season for the New York Jets once again, but they just hired this coach this year, so they're not going to fire him this year. But I guarantee you he better turn it around soon in New York. That's not a place that has a lot of patience. You better get it. It's the biggest media market in the world. You better get it together. I think Saylor better turn this thing around quick.
Yes, indeed. Mighty Open, can you remember, I know it's your birthday today, and on your birthday, can you remember any time in your lifetime both New York football teams been this bad?
This bad? Remember? No.
I can't ever remember that.
At the same time, usually they alternate or something, and then, the Giants have always tried to be somewhat competitive, but this bad at the same time, both of them hiring the wrong Saylor could end up being a better coach, but the Giants, come on, man.
Joe Judge is not the guy. He's a pep talk guy, talking the right talk. Now they're talking about keeping Judge and getting rid of Gettleman, which they should have gotten rid of Gettleman 3-4. They shouldn't even brought him back from Carolina and bringing in another New England Patriot. What is it with all these New England Patriot guys getting jobs? Don't they know that it's the head coach who's also acted as the general manager that it's really been a one-man show up there in New England? Right. These other guys aren't. It's only a few guys from that tree that has been beneficial. And you taking Joe Judge, come on, give me a special teams coach. Are you serious, man? Right. The Giants get what they paid for, and they paid for a lemon of a car and coach. The Jets plus 17. I'm taking the 17 points against the Bills tomorrow because I think the Bills, their defense is playing tough. They're playing for Saylor. The defense is coming on. Shaq Lawson, he'll be coming back. I'm sure he's going to want to have a good game against the Bills tomorrow. The Bills will win, but take the Jets in the 17 points and take it under 41 points tomorrow.
Well, the Bills better play better than they did last week. You cannot underestimate an opponent. I know you're only human. It's hard to get up for any team each and every week of a long season, but you need to put this team away quick and get ready for next week. You know, put them away quick, get ready for next week because they almost beat Tampa Bay. I mean, without a Tom Brady miracle, you have a big time win last week, and some bad coaching. If you remember the first game, Radman, Sailor he kept going man to man, and he stayed in man to man against the Bills. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? You can't cover Stephon Diggs like that.
No,
it was his best game of the year, I think, against the Jets. So we'll see if he's made some coaching changes to his own style against the Bills and see if they can move this thing ahead. So Radman is taking the Bills. You're taking the Jets with the points, right?
That's correct. That's correct. And one last point of this game is the Bills quarterback, Josh Allen, is really not a cold weather quarterback. You can see it. He's better indoors. He's better in the warmer conditions. He doesn't have trouble gripping the ball. And then if you put trouble on his defense, he'll turn that ball over like he did 3 times last week against an inferior Atlanta Falcons defense. He turned that ball over. And that's the fault of the offense coordinator going to having Josh Allen be the one and only trying to win the game. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Do some play action passes. Do limited passing, short passes in cold weather. Get the short passes and high winds and everything. And they're going to be playing it's almost like a night game tomorrow, 4:25 in the afternoon. Come on. And there's snow coming in, more snow coming in. Man, we don't know what we might get out there tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why would they do that? This is Buffalo, man.
Yeah, take the 17 points, man. I think you'll take. I think you will take it to the bank, and you'll have you some money to go to Burgos income tax, and then get your income tax done by Burgos income tax. Big and fast refunds. Get you your money. That's who sponsor of our show is today. Keep in mind, area code 585-266-2680. Burgos Income Tax Service. Get that big and fast tax refund right away. Call our friend Al Burgos, and he'll get you some money right away. 266-2680. Of course, once you put in your tax fund, you're not getting money just calling them up, but you get your tax paperwork in preparation, and he'll make sure you get the biggest refund that you deserve.
Now, one other thing, I'm wondering, have they seen on film? If you notice, Josh Allen's interceptions were tipped balls.
Yes.
Teams have seen something in his release, and the Falcons were deliberately going after his balls on his release, and those 2 interceptions were tipped balls. So that's something we might want to look at to see if Sailor tries the same thing, or if the Bills have asked him to make some form of adjustment. Well, we got to move forward. Yes. We've got Tampa Bay and Carolina.
Tampa Bay, a beat up Tampa Bay team playing a terrible Carolina team. Carolina getting 10 is at Tampa. I think Tampa has enough to win it by 10 or more. Look for that game under 40. Tom Brady without Antonio Brown doing jumping jacks and taking off his clothes and leaving the field, acting really ignorant. We glad, unfortunately, and then he's on a podcast yesterday talking about what Tom Brady didn't do for him. Are you for real, man? The man needs some mental help, and I hope he gets the help he needs, because he was on there talking crazy yesterday on the podcast. That did not make any sense. But take Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay will win this one by more than 10, under 42.
All right, next game up, Tennessee and Houston. That could be a dangerous game.
Tennessee will be resting people. I'm sure Tennessee will start the game. They should take care of this game. This one, just for the fact of the way things are going, take the 10 points of the Houston. Houston getting 11 right now. Take Houston with the 11, because Tennessee, I think, is going to pull people and rest some of their folks. They'll win the game, but I think they may not win it by more than 11 points right now, 10 or 11. So take Houston with the 11, banking on the fact that Tennessee will be resting some of their players in this contest.
All right, the Washington professional team against the New York Giants.
Okay, Washington gets the Giants. Giants getting 7. Washington, the Giants have had trouble scoring Washington has trouble scoring. Joe Judge got to show something. Joe Judge defense better show up. Take the Giants with the 7, under 36. Giants getting the 7 points. Take them at the nation's capital against the at the Meadowlands at home. They're at home, so take the Giants with the 7 against Washington.
Also, we got a question in: where would we rank Jim Harbaugh in the NFL coaching prospect? I think Jim Harbaugh, with his record in San Francisco, jumps ahead of the pack.
Yeah,
I think he's the number one guy. I think Frazier, Byron Leftwich, Eric Bieniemy, all those guys are big time prospects to me. But I think Jim Harbaugh, because of what he did in San Francisco, this guy will jump ahead of the pack. And I think he has said his ideal job is Chicago. So, before, I was saying Leslie Frazier to the Bears, but I think Jim Harbaugh, if he throws his hat in the ring, could send Leslie Frazier to another team.
I think you're absolutely.
I think Leslie Frazier is still a top prospect.
Yes, he is. Leslie Frazier is still a top prospect, but I think if he could do the same thing with Fields there, if he goes to Chicago and has Fields, Justin Fields, and
Colin Kaepernick.
That's what I was going to say. He did. Look what he did with Colin Kaepernick. He put Colin Kaepernick into being one throw away from winning that Super Bowl.
Yes,
we were at that Super Bowl. We saw that the lights went out and everything. But the party didn't stop, my dear. Over the bars and everything was still open there in the dome, in the Mercedes-Benz dome at that time. The lights went out. They came back. San Francisco made a valiant effort, and Kaepernick came back with just one throw short. I just wonder what would happen if they would have won that Super Bowl. Would Colin Kaepernick, would it be a little different?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. What they've done is criminal. What they've done to him and Eric Reed, I think it's just not right. And to not allow a man to make a living is not right. And it shows you where this league truly, truly is. And Eric Reed and Kaepernick haven't even been afforded a tryout, man. No. Not even a tryout, Radman.
No, not even a tryout.
And you just mentioned something. One throw away from a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, and people and they keep changing the narrative, trying to act like the guy wasn't doing his job and all this. The man was injured, had this shoulder surgery, came back, ready to play, and just wasn't given the opportunity. So that's the right. Don't try to put a narrative on him that he was a loser and his record was bad that last year in San Francisco. Yeah, because the man was injured. He had knee surgery, he had a shoulder. Come on, man. So people don't forget. Just like people try to tell us O.J. Simpson, people don't remember the juice. His records are still up there. If the Tennessee Titan running back Derrick Henry would have played, he was averaging 114 yards per game. Only Jim Brown and O.J. Simpson was number one, averaging 117 yards a game. And so Derrick Henry is putting up great Hall of Fame type numbers. Both of those guys are in the Hall of Fame, obviously. But people in Western New York don't need to forget. They need to remember just how great the juice was on the football field.
No question about it.
He has so many records still on the record books that have not been broken, or people haven't even come close to breaking some of his records.
That's right. Hey, did you Tampa, Carolina? Did you say?
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry, Tennessee, Houston.
Houston. Take Houston in 11.
Okay, Washington and the Giants.
Take the Giants +7. Giants +7 under 38.
All right, New Orleans and Atlanta. New Orleans can still make the playoffs.
That's right. It's going to be a good, and this is a division game. So New Orleans at Atlanta. We saw Atlanta last week. If Kyle Pitts isn't able to go, take New Orleans, because New Orleans defense is tough. New Orleans will come out with the win because their defense will stop Matt Ryan and the rest of his crew. New Orleans will cover the 4 points under 38. Under 38 points, with New Orleans winning by more than 4 against Atlanta.
All right, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Last game for Roethlisberger. As a Steelers still have an outside chance to get in the playoffs.
Yes, they do. At Baltimore, I like Huntley. I think Huntley might be the better quarterback right now in this game coming up. I think Ben Roethlisberger, he seems to have one good game, one bad game. Last week was a good game. Now he's back. I think he'll have a bad game on his swan song because last week he took the victory lap after the game. So I don't even think he might not even be mentally ready for this game Sunday afternoon. Take Baltimore. I like Pittsburgh with the 4. Pittsburgh with the 4 point, but I think Baltimore will win this game by probably a field goal. It's going to be a tight game. Take Pittsburgh. Since Pittsburgh getting the points, take the 4 points, but Baltimore should win this game, and it should be under 40 in this contest.
All right, Cincinnati and Cleveland.
This could be an interesting game, too. Keep an eye on the inactives. Right now, they say Joe Mixon and the quarterback, Joe Burrows, is due to be out of this game. And to me, that makes a big difference in this contest. I like Cleveland. With Case Keenum, I think Case Keenum has been the better quarterback for Cleveland the last 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks of the season. For the owner, that had to be ownership forcing Baker Mayfield out there on the field. I don't see how the coach even had Baker out there as terrible as he was playing the last 3 games. So take Cleveland with Case Keenum at quarterback. It's a pick'em game. I take Cleveland to win this one and take the under 40. Should be bad weather up on Lake Erie, and they playing on a grass field in Cleveland. Under 40 due to the weather conditions.
All right, next up, this should be a very interesting game. Arizona and Seattle. Will there be finally? Will they get rid of Pete Carroll?
Yeah, Pete Carroll needs to go. Seattle getting 7 at Arizona. Arizona still don't want to limp into the playoffs. I think Arizona come out strong. They'll win this game. They'll defeat Seattle by more than 7. Seattle just has a hard time scoring, even though they beat Detroit last week with 51 points on the board. I like Arizona to cover. It's a good divisional game. Take Arizona to win it outright. Under 46 in this contest. Under 46 points, Arizona winning by more than 7.
All right, Los Angeles Rams, San Francisco 49ers.
Another good playoff implication game. San Francisco getting the 4 at the Rams. San Francisco seems to play the Rams really tough. Take San Francisco with the 4. I like San Francisco going to be all out, have to make sure that they're in the playoffs. The Rams are winning, but hey, I think the Rams may still win the game, but take the 49ers plus 4 and take, in this case, over 47 in the game. 49ers need the game. Jimmy G, they're not going to ask him to do a lot. Trey Lance may be in there a lot more. A lot of screen passes. And I love Kyle Shanahan as an offensive coordinator. Man, if he was the Bills' offensive coordinator, man, I think the Bills would be a stepping above the class of the AFC right now going into the playoffs. But he's not. Right. Take the 49ers plus the 4 over 47.
All right, LA Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders. This could be the game of the day. Serious playoff implications for both teams.
Serious playoff. Last game of the night, Sunday Night Football. The Chargers at the Raiders. The Chargers can't stop anybody with the run. The Raiders can't stop anybody with the run either. It's going to be a close contest. I'm going with the Raiders. I think the Raiders can pull the upset because the Chargers, they just haven't. There's something about the Chargers this year, and even last year with Anthony Lynn, they just can't seem to win those games that really matter. They're losing, getting blown out in Detroit a few weeks ago, and then a couple other suspect losses they had earlier in the season. They should have already been in the playoff. Remember, they were like 8-6 or 8-5 or something like that. They were well ahead to be in the playoffs by now. I like the Vegas Raiders to pull this off. Take them as the pick 'em. Take it over 51 because both defenses they can't stop each other. Should be a very entertaining game to watch.
All right, last game of the day is the national championship game. Alabama, Georgia, Monday night. Who are you picking, Redman, in the national championship?
Go Tide, go. Go Tide, go. The Tide defeated them, embarrassed them a few weeks ago. I think Georgia will come and play much better. It'll be a much tighter game, but I see Alabama with the young quarterback pulling away in this contest. It's a pick 'em. They'll win by more than 3, and I think it'll be over 55 because Alabama just always seems to score a lot of points. Georgia can put some points on the board too, but I like Alabama. Alabama is still as in the last 10 years, they've been the class of the Southeastern Conference, the SEC. Take Alabama to cover the spread outright. I'm picking that. That's one of my top picks for this week as well. That's one of my drop picks of the week for sure. And also that Cleveland game with the weather conditions. Check the weather out. That Cleveland under game is also one of my top picks for this coming week as well. So keep an eye out. Enjoy your football. We're wrapping up the regular seasons. We want to thank Burgos Income Tax, big fast refunds with Burgos Income Tax. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Hey, we just continue to get it in. Remember, 585-266-2680 for Burgos Income Tax. Give you that big fast tax returns.
All right, that's all for us here on Pro Talk Plus. The Winner's Edge will be back next week with our playoff show. It's the end of the regular season. Radman is going to make you some playoff money next week. We'll see you then.